Most people toss this in a jar, forget about it, or hand it to a parking meter without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these could be sitting in your home right now, worth hundreds of pounds? We're talking about, for very specific, UK £1 coins minted between 1985 and 2003, that collectors are desperately hunting. Rare, sought after, and almost impossible to find in circulation anymore. If you've got a coin jar, a drawer full of old change, or even a forgotten wallet, you need to watch every second of this video. Number 1. 1985. The very first run of the round pound that most people completely overlooked. Number 2. 2001. A Welsh Dragon reverse, so scarce, dealers are outbidding each other at auction. Number 3. 2002. A Commonwealth Games edition, with mintage numbers that will make your jaw drop. And number 4. 2003. The Egyptian arch bridge design, elegant, beautiful, and practically gone from circulation. These aren't myths, these aren't clickbait. I've got the mintage figures, the auction records, and the exact things you need to look for on each coin: the date, the edge inscription, the reverse design, so you know with certainty whether what you're holding is ordinary change or something extraordinary. Because hidden among millions of common coins, there are rare and high-grade pieces that collectors are willing to pay big money for. And most people, they spend it without ever checking. So here's the question: have you ever checked your coins carefully? Because one small detail, one rare year, one overlooked coin could turn your spare change into serious cash. Before you spend your next £1 coin, take a closer look, because you might be holding a hidden treasure. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what makes each of these 4 coins rare, what they've actually sold for, and how to spot a genuine example versus a common version. No fluff, no filler, just the information you need, because the next time you're handed change, you'll never look at a pound coin the same way again. So let's start with the one that started it all, the 1985 pound coin, and why its story is more surprising than anyone ever told you. Get ready to uncover one of the most fascinating and shockingly misunderstood coins in British history, the legendary 1985 United Kingdom £1 coin, a piece that may look ordinary at first glance, but hides a world of mystery, hidden value, collector obsession, and jaw-dropping surprises that could turn a simple pocket find into a treasure worth far more than its face value. Because this coin is not just money, it's a story forged in metal, a symbol of national identity, and a gateway into the electrifying universe of coin collecting, where tiny details can mean massive profits. And as we dive deep into its history, value, rarity, auction records, errors, varieties, mint marks, and key factors, you'll begin to see why collectors around the world are constantly hunting for this iconic coin with relentless passion. First introduced in 1983 to replace the £1 banknote, the round pound coin series quickly became a staple of British currency, and by the Royal Mint had already begun issuing design variations representing different parts of the United Kingdom, making each year not just currency but a celebration of heritage. And the 1985 £1 coin specifically features a Scottish design, a majestic thistle crowned and surrounded by intricate detailing, symbolizing Scotland's strength and resilience. And this alone makes it stand out visually from other years, instantly attracting collectors who specialize in regional designs. Now here's where things start getting truly exciting. The mintage of the 1985 pound coin was relatively high compared to some rare dates. But that doesn't mean it's common in collectible condition, because condition is everything in the world of numismatics, and coins that have survived in pristine, or proof condition can fetch prices that will absolutely shock you, sometimes reaching dozens or even hundreds of pounds depending on grading. And when we talk about grading, we're referring to professional evaluation services, FET-rate coins, on a scale where even the slightest scratch or wear can dramatically impact value, turning what could have been a jackpot into just another coin. But wait, it gets even more thrilling. Because hidden within the 1985 pound coins are potential minting errors, those rare, accidental imperfections that collectors go crazy for, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, or misaligned dies. And while these errors are incredibly rare, when they do appear, they can skyrocket the coin's value to astonishing levels, sometimes selling for hundreds or even thousands depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, making them the ultimate dream find for treasure hunters and collectors alike. And let's not forget about variety's subtle differences in design or production that most people would never notice, but seasoned collectors can spot in an instant, differences in lettering, spacing, or edge inscriptions that can separate an ordinary coin from an extraordinary one. And speaking of edge inscriptions, the 1985 £1 coin carries the Latin phrase "Nemo me impune licet," meaning "no one provokes me with impunity," a powerful motto associated with Scotland. And variations or abnormalities in this edge lettering can significantly impact collectability and value. Now imagine this year sorting through old coins or receiving change, and you come across a 1985-pound coin, seemingly ordinary, but what if it's an uncirculated piece? Or better yet, a rare era coin, or even part of a proof set issued for collectors, because proof coins are specially struck with polished dies and blanks, resulting in mirror-like finishes and sharp details that are highly sought after. And these proof versions of the 1985 coin can command much higher prices than their circulated counterparts, especially if preserved in original packaging. Auctions have seen these coins appear time and time again, sometimes selling quietly for modest amounts, and other times igniting bidding wars among collectors who recognize something special. And this is where knowledge becomes power, because understanding the key factors such as condition, rarity, demand, and unique features can make the difference between selling a coin for face value or unlocking a hidden fortune. And collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that check multiple boxes: low mintage, high grade, rare error, or historical significance. And while the 1985-pound coin may not be the rarest in terms of mintage, its design significance and potential for rare varieties keep it firmly on collectors' radar. But here's the most shocking part: millions of these coins were produced, yet only a tiny fraction survive in top condition today, because most were heavily circulated, scratched, worn, or even lost. Meaning that high-grade examples are far scarcer than you might think, and that scarcity drives value, especially as more collectors enter the market and demand increases. And with the round-a-pound coin being withdrawn from circulation in 2017 and replaced by the new 12-sided design, older coins like the 1985 issue have gained renewed interest as historical pieces, further fueling their desirability. Collectors from around the world are drawn to British coinage for its rich history and artistry, and the 1985-pound coin stands as a shining example of that legacy, blending cultural symbolism with everyday utility. And for those who know what to look for, it offers opportunities that can be both financially rewarding and intellectually thrilling. Because every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than you ever imagined. So if you have a 1985 United Kingdom £1 coin, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Examine it closely, check its condition, inspect the design, look for unusual features or errors, and consider having it professionally graded if it appears exceptional. Because you might be holding a piece of history that collectors would eagerly pay for, and in the unpredictable, electrifying world of coin collecting, where hidden treasures are discovered in the most unexpected places, the 1985-pound coin proves that even the most ordinary-looking objects can hold extraordinary value waiting to be revealed. Asterisk. If you want to squeeze the maximum possible money out of your 1985 United Kingdom £1 coin, you need to stop thinking like someone selling a coin and start thinking like a collector or dealer who knows exactly what buyers are hunting for. Because the difference between selling blindly and selling smart can mean the jump from just £1 to £50, £100, or even more in rare cases. So here's the powerful step-by-step strategy that serious sellers use to extract top value from coins. Like the 1985 issue struck by the Royal Mint. First, you must identify exactly what you have, because not all 1985 £1 coins are equal. And this is where most people lose money. Instantly look closely at the design, the Scottish crowned thistle. Check the edge inscription, Nemo me impune. And most importantly, examine the condition under strong light. If your coin looks dull, scratched, and heavily worn, it will likely sell close to face value or just slightly above. But if it has sharp details, original shine, and minimal wear, you could be holding a much more valuable piece. And if it looks mirror-like or flawless, it might even be a proof coin, which changes everything. Now comes the money-making step. Most beginners skip grading and presentation, because collectors don't just buy coins, they buy confidence and condition. So never clean your coin. This is a costly mistake that can destroy value instantly. Instead, gently store it in a protective holder and, if it looks high quality, consider professional grading from services like Numismatic Guarantee Company or Professional Coin Grading Service. Because a certified grade can multiply the price dramatically by proving authenticity and condition. Next, you need to choose where. To land this decision can make or break your profit, because different platforms attract different buyers. For the highest prices, online auction platforms like eBay are extremely powerful, especially if you use auction format instead of fixed price. Because competitive bidding can drive prices higher than expected, but only if your listing is strong. While coin-focused marketplaces like MoShops or collector forums often attract serious buyers willing to pay premium prices for quality pieces. And if your coin is truly special, like a rare error or top-grade example, sending it to a major auction house like Spink and Son can unlock elite collectors who pay top dollar. Now here's the secret weapon that separates high-profit sellers from average ones. your listing quality, because your photos and description can literally double or triple your final price. So take clear, high-resolution images of both sides and the edge. Use natural lighting and write a compelling description using powerful keywords like 1985, UK £1, Scottish thistle coin, brilliant, uncirculated rare air, or high grade, because collectors search using these terms. And the more professional your listing looks, the more trust and bids you attract. Timing is another hidden factor. List your coin when demand is high, such as during collector events, holidays, or when similar coins are trending. And always check completed listings on eBay to see real selling prices, not just asking prices, because this gives you the true market value and helps you set a smart, starting bid that attracts attention without undervaluing your coin. If your coin turns out to have an error or unusual variety, do not rush to sell it cheaply. This is where serious money is made. Get expert opinions, compare similar error sales, and consider auctioning it to maximize competition. Because rare error coins can sometimes sell for hundreds depending on uniqueness and demand. Finally, think like a professional seller. Coin hunters, treasure seekers, and everyday people who just had their minds completely blown, because today we are diving deep. And I mean dangerously deep, into one of the most fascinating, jaw-dropping, and wildly underestimated little pieces of metal that has ever passed through your unsuspecting hands. The United Kingdom, £1 coin of 2001, and by the time this video is over, you are going to want to sprint to your wallet, tear apart your coin jar, check every drawer, every sofa cushion, and every forgotten piggy bank in your entire house, because what you are about to discover is nothing short of extraordinary. You see, most people, and we are talking about millions of people, have held this coin, spent this coin, or worse, tossed it aside without a single second thought, completely unaware that certain versions of this seemingly ordinary pound coin are so devastatingly rare, so insanely sought after by elite collectors around the globe, that they have sold at auction for prices that'll make your eyes water and your hands shake. But first, let us travel back in time and truly understand the magnificent history of the British pound coin itself, because this story goes far deeper than just 1 year. The modern £1 coin was introduced in 1983, replacing the old pound note that had been in circulation since the early 20th century. And from day one it was designed to be iconic, authoritative, and nearly impossible to fake. Its thick, golden-colored brass alloy composition, its distinctive milled edge, and its constantly rotating reverse designs, celebrating the four nations of the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, made it one of the most visually captivating circulating coins anywhere in the world. And here's something that shocks absolutely everyone when they first hear it. Between 1983 and 2016, the Royal Mint produced over 40 different reverse designs for the £1 coin, each one celebrating a different national emblem, regional symbol, or heraldic beast. Meaning that if you had been collecting every single design from the very beginning, you would be sitting on a portfolio of coins that tells the entire the story of a nation. Oak trees, lions, Celtic crosses, the 3 lions of England, the Welsh dragon, the Scottish lion rampant, bridges, floral emblems. It is like a miniature art gallery that fits in the palm of your hand. Now, fast forward to 2001 specifically, and this is where things get breathtakingly exciting. Because the 2001 pound coin featured the reverse design of a Celtic cross with a ring of knotwork from Northern Ireland. Designed by the extraordinarily talented Norman Silman, it was the second time Northern Ireland had been honored on the £1 coin reverse, and it was minted in numbers that, while not microscopic, were significantly lower than many other years in the series. And here is where the concept of mintage becomes absolutely critical for every serious collector and every accidental treasure hunter watching this right now. Mintage simply means the total number of coins produced in a given year. And when mintage is low, rarity goes up, demand goes up, and value goes through the absolute roof. Now, the 2001 Northern Ireland pound coin had a reported mintage of approximately 97,852,000. And while that sounds like a massive number, you have to understand that hundreds of millions of pound coins were in active circulation at any given time. Coins get lost, damaged, melted down, or taken out of circulation every single year, meaning the surviving population of high-grade uncirculated, pristine 2001 pound coins is dramatically, terrifyingly smaller than that original mintage figure suggests. And this is the secret that separates casual coin holders from savvy collectors. It is not just about how many were made, it is about how many survived in perfect condition. Now let us talk about the errors, the varieties, and the mint marks. Because this is the part of the video where your pulse is genuinely going to quicken. Throughout the history of the £1 coin, a small but spectacular number of coins left the Royal Mint with striking errors. And these error coins are not just rare. They are legendary in the numismatic world. We are talking about coins with diaxis, where the obverse portrait of the queen and the reverse design are not aligned at the standard 180-degree position. Even a slight misalignment, say 90 degrees or 45 degrees, can transform an ordinary pound coin into an object of obsessive desire worth tens or even hundreds of times its face value. Then there are the edge lettering errors, which are perhaps the most spine-tingling of all. The 1-pound coin carries an inscription on its edge. And throughout the series, some coins were struck with the edge lettering upside down, inserted at the wrong orientation, or in some breathtaking cases, doubled. A 2001-pound coin found with any such edge error is essentially a numismatic unicorn. Something so outrageously rare that seasoned dealers will practically fight each other to acquire it beyond outright errors. The concept of die varieties adds another thrilling layer to the hunt. Different production. Dies used at different points in the minting process can leave subtle but measurable differences in the coin's appearance, the depth of the relief, the sharpness of the lettering, microscopic differences in the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and for the truly obsessive, truly dedicated collector, identifying a scarce die variety on a 2001-pound coin can be the difference between a coin worth face value and one worth a small fortune. Now we must talk about grade and condition, because in the world of coin collecting, grade is everything. A coin graded MS70 by a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS, meaning it is a perfect, absolutely flawless, microscopically pristine example, can be worth exponentially more than a circulated, worn, scratched version of the exact same coin, the 2001 Northern Ireland pound coin in top mint state condition, especially if it was originally sold in a royal mint presentation set or proof set, is a coin that serious collectors will pursue with almost predatory intensity. Royal mint proof coins, which are specially struck using polished dies on polished blanks to produce mirror-like fields and frosted devices, are in a completely different league from circulation strikes. In a 2001 proof pound coin in its original packaging, with its certificate of authenticity, is an object of genuine beauty and genuine monetary worth. The Royal Mint also produced brilliant uncirculated versions for collector sets that year. And these coins, never touched by human hands or contaminated by the grime of daily commerce, represent the absolute pinnacle of what the 2001-pound coin can be. Now, let us talk about the auction market, because this is where theory becomes breathtaking reality. Error coins and rare varieties from the 1-pound coin series have appeared at major auction houses including Smith Baldwin's and D&W Dix, Noonan Webb, and the prices realized have left the coin community absolutely stunned. Standard circulated 2001-pound coins might trade for a few pence above face value, but a documented error example, a high-grade proof, or a coin with a provable variety can command prices ranging from dozens of pounds, all the way up to several hundred pounds or more, depending on the severity of the error and the hunger of the bidding room. And the online auction world, particularly eBay, has democratized this market in a way that would have been unimaginable to previous generations of collectors. Ordinary people. People exactly like you watching this video right now have discovered extraordinary coins in their change and sold them online for sums that paid for holidays, covered bills, or simply delivered the most electrifying surprise of their financial lives. The key factors that determine whether your 2001-pound coin is worth checking, and please, go check right now. Seriously, pause this video and grab your coin jar. Are these? First, the condition isn't worn and scratched from years of circulation. Or is it beautifully sharp with clear, crisp details? Second, the edge hold the coin on its edge and rotate it slowly under a good light. Does the lettering read correctly? Is it the right way up relative to the obverse? Are there any doubling, blurring, or misalignment issues? Third, the die axis hold the coin with the queen's portrait upright. Then flip it top to bottom. The reverse design should appear upside down at the standard 180-degree alignment. Any significant deviation from this is potentially a major error. Fourth, the provenance. Do you have any documentation, original packaging, or proof that the coin came from a royal mint set? Provenance adds enormous credibility and value. Fifth, the surface under magnification. Does the coin show any unusual doubling of the design elements, misplaced design features, or anything that simply looks different from a standard example? Because the truth that the coin collecting world does not always shout loudly enough is this: errors happened. They slipped through quality control, they entered circulation, and they are sitting right now in wallets and jars and old coat pockets belonging to people who have absolutely no idea what they are holding. The history of British coinage is a history of extraordinary craftsmanship, occasionally interrupted by extraordinary accidents. And those accidents are now the most prized possessions in the most prestigious collections on earth. The 2001 UK £1 coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a chapter in the grand story of British identity. A product of centuries of minting tradition, a potential era coin worth a staggering multiple of its face value. Get ready to uncover the astonishing hidden world behind the United Kingdom £1 coin 2002. A coin that may look ordinary in your pocket but could secretly be a collector's treasure worth far more than its face value. Because this incredible piece of British numismatic history is packed with fascinating stories, rare varieties, shocking errors, and surprising auction results that have stunned collectors across the globe. And today, we are diving deep into its history, value, rarity, auctions, collector demand, mint marks, and the key factors that can turn a simple £1 coin into a small fortune. So let's start with the historical background, because the 2002 £1 coin was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and minted by the prestigious Royal Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the world. And what makes the 2002 issue particularly exciting is that it belongs to the famous round pound series that ran from 1983 until it was replaced in 2016, and each year featured unique, reverse designs representing different parts of the United Kingdom. And in 2002, the reverse design celebrated Northern Ireland with the iconic flaxplant emblem, a symbol deeply connected to Irish heritage and industry, instantly making this coin historically meaningful and visually distinctive. But here's where things start to get truly exciting and even shocking, because while millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction possessed the rare features and conditions that collectors are desperately searching for. And this is where value skyrockets, because in the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. And even a small variation can mean the difference between a coin worth £1 and one worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds at auction. And speaking of value, most circulated 2000 to £1 coins are still very common and typically worth just face value or slightly more. But if you happen to find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions and still retains its original mint luster, its value can jump significantly, often reaching £5, £10, or even higher depending on demand. But wait, because the real jaw-dropping money lies in rare errors and varieties. And this is where collectors become obsessed, because era coins are like hidden lottery tickets, and the 2000 to £1 coin is no exception, as some known errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, and misaligned designs, all of which can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes pushing it into the hundreds or even thousands at auction. And one of the most talked about aspects is the possibility of mule errors, where the obverse and reverse designs do not match the intended pairing, an extremely rare occurrence that sends collectors into a frenzy. And if you ever come across such a coin, you could be holding an absolute treasure. And then there are die varieties, subtle differences in the design caused by wear or changes in the minting process, which may not be obvious to the untrained eye, but can be incredibly valuable to Obsidians who spend years studying these tiny details. And another critical factor that determines value is the coin's condition, often graded on a scale from poor to mint state. And coins graded as MS65 or higher are especially desirable, commanding premium prices because they are so difficult to find in such pristine condition after years of circulation. And now let's talk about auctions, because this is where the magic really happens, as rare 2000 to £1 coins have appeared in auctions both online and in prestigious auction houses, sometimes surprising sellers with unexpectedly high bids, especially when multiple collectors compete for a rare piece, driving the price higher and higher in a thrilling bidding war. And platforms like eBay and specialized coin auction sites have seen listings where rare error coins sell for astonishing amounts, proving that demand is very real and constantly growing. And the collector market itself is another fascinating element, as coin collecting, or numismatics, is a global hobby with millions of enthusiasts. And British coins in particular have a strong following due to their rich history and artistic designs, making the 2000 to £1 coin an appealing addition to many collections, especially for those focusing on the round pound series or regional designs. And mint marks are another important detail. Although most 2002 £1 coins do not feature distinct mint marks visible to the public, the quality and origin of the strike can still influence desirability, particularly for coins struck in special sets or proof versions, which are produced with higher precision and often sold directly to collectors. And these proof coins, with their mirror-like finish and sharp details, can be worth significantly more than standard circulation coins, sometimes reaching £20, £50, or even higher depending on rarity and condition. And now, let's reveal the key factors that can turn your ordinary-looking coin into a valuable collectible. Because this is what every viewer wants to know. And it all comes down to rarity, condition, errors, demand, and authenticity. Because a rare error coin in excellent condition with strong collector demand is the perfect storm for high value. And authenticity is crucial, as counterfeit coins do exist. So having your coin verified by a professional grading service can greatly increase buyer confidence and final sale price. And here comes the most thrilling part. The question that keeps collectors awake at night. Just how rare is the 2,000 to 1 pound coin? And the answer is both simple and shocking. Because while the standard coin is not rare at all due to its high NJ, the rare varieties and error coins are extremely scarce, with only a handful known, in some cases making them highly sought after and incredibly valuable. And this creates a fascinating situation where millions of people may have the coin, but only a few possess the truly rare versions, turning everyday pocket change into a potential hidden fortune. And this is why coin roll hunting and checking your spare change has become such an exciting activity, because you never know when you might discover a rare gem hiding in plain sight. And as we wrap up this deep dive into the 2002 United Kingdom 1 pound coin, remember that knowledge is power, and the more you learn about these coins, the better your chances of spotting something valuable. So always check for unusual features, keep your coins in good condition, and stay informed about market trends. Because the next time you receive a 1 pound coin in change, it might not just be money, it could be a piece of history, a collector's dream, and possibly a life-changing discovery waiting to be revealed. Asterisk if you want to turn your ordinary-looking United Kingdom 1 pound coin 2002 into the maximum possible profit, then you need to understand that selling a coin is not just about putting it online and hoping for the best. It is a strategic game where knowledge, timing, presentation, and smart decision-making can multiply your earnings dramatically. And in this complete, high-impact, attention-grabbing script, you're about to learn the exact step-by-step process used by experienced collectors and dealers to squeeze every last pound out of a single coin. So let's begin with the most important truth that most beginners completely ignore, and that is the fact that the value of your coin is not fixed. It is fluid, constantly changing depending on demand, condition, rarity, and how well you present it. Two buyers, which means two people selling the exact same coin, can end up with completely different results. One getting just 1 pound or 2 pounds, while the other walks away with 50 pounds, 100 pounds, or even more. And the difference comes down to strategy. So the first step is identification and research. Because before you even think about selling, you must understand exactly what you have in your hands. And that means carefully examining your 2,000 to 1 pound coin under good lighting. Looking closely at the flax plant design, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, and checking for any unusual features such as offs, strikes, doubling, die cracks, or any strange markings that could indicate a rare error. Because error coins are where the real money is made. And once you've inspected your coin, the next step is to compare it with known examples by searching sold listings on platforms like eBay, not just active listings but completed sales. Because that shows you what buyers are actually willing to pay. And this step alone can prevent you from underpricing your coin and losing money. And now comes a critical moment that can make or break your profit, and that is grading the condition of your coin. Because condition is everything in numismatics, and a coin in poor condition with scratches and wear will always sell for less, while a coin in brilliant, uncirculated, or near-mint condition can command a premium price. So never clean your coin, because cleaning can destroy its value instantly, a mistake that has cost beginners thousands. Instead, keep it exactly as it is and handle it carefully by the edges only. And if you suspect your coin is rare or valuable, consider getting it professionally graded by a reputable service. Because a certified grade adds credibility and can significantly increase buyer confidence, leading to higher bids. And now let's talk about where to sell. Because choosing the right platform is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. And while there are many options, each has its pros and cons. For example, eBay is one of the most popular platforms because it gives you access to a global audience of collectors, increasing competition and driving up prices, especially if you use an auction format, which can create a bidding war. But you must also consider fees and the risk of dealing with unreliable buyers. Welcome back, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and everyday people who might right now, at this very moment, be holding an absolute goldmine in your pocket without even knowing it. Today, we are diving deep, and I mean jaw-droppingly deep, into one of the most electrifying, most talked about, most dangerously overlooked coins in all of British numismatic history, the 2003 United Kingdom 1 pound coin. And by the time this video is over, I promise you, you will never look at your loose change the same way again. Because the world of rare coins is not just for gray-haired collectors locked away in dusty libraries. It is a wild, obsessive, multi-million-pound universe where ordinary people find extraordinary treasures in the most ordinary places, And it all starts with understanding history. Because the British £1 coin itself, introduced way back in 1983 to replace the old paper pound note, was from day one surrounded by a legacy of artistry, national pride, and deliberate variety that would eventually make certain dates, certain mint marks, and certain mysterious eras worth sums of money that would make your eyes water. Now the coin was designed to be virtually impossible to counterfeit with its distinctive thick, golden, 11-sided edge inscription, its alternating milled and smooth edge sections, and its rotating reverse designs celebrating the four nations of the United Kingdom, featuring iconic symbols like the Scottish lion rampant, the Welsh dragon, the English three lions, and the Northern Irish Celtic cross. And this rotating design policy, changed every single year, is precisely what makes certain years explode in value, because when you combine a low mintage figure with a design error, a minting anomaly, or a die alignment fault, you get the kind of coin that sends collectors into an absolute frenzy. And nobody demonstrates this more dramatically than the coins of the early 2000s. Now brace yourself, because here is where it gets truly shocking. The 2003 United Kingdom £1 coin featured the Egyptian arch bridge design on its reverse, specifically the iconic bridge design representing architecture of the United Kingdom. And while millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation by the Royal Mint, which, by the way, is one of the oldest and most respected minting institutions on the entire planet, operating for over 1,100 years, not all of those coins were created equal, because within the 2003 issue, just like with other years in the series, collectors and sharp-eyed members of the public have discovered coins with die alignment errors, where the obverse portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is rotated at an unexpected angle relative to the reverse design, and these so-called rotated die or mule errors are considered among the most desirable and heart-stoppingly rare finds in modern British coinage, and the reason they are so valuable is devastatingly simple. The Royal Mint operates with extraordinary precision, so when an error slips through, it slips through in minuscule numbers, sometimes just dozens of pieces out of millions, which means that the person lucky enough to find one is holding a coin that perhaps only a handful of other people in the entire world possess. And on auction platforms like eBay UK, specialist numismatic auction houses such as Spink & Son, Baldwin's of St. James's, and D&W Dix Noonan Webb, coins with significant errors from the pound series have sold for anywhere between £20 and, in extreme cases, several £100s, with particularly dramatic examples attracting fierce bidding wars from collectors willing to pay a staggering premium. But errors are not the only thing that makes a coin rocket in value, because varieties are equally explosive territory. And a variety refers to a legitimate, intentional or unintentional difference in design detail between coins of the same year, including subtle changes to the portrait of the Queen. Remember that the Royal Mint updated the portrait of Her Majesty (FOUR) times during the reign of the pound coin in 1985, 1998, 2004. In 2015, the size of the lettering in the edge inscription decos et tutamen, which means an ornament and a safeguard, the depth of the coin's relief, and micro differences in the heraldic devices that only the most eagle-eyed collector would ever spot. And then there is the matter of mint marks, which on British coinage are less commonly used than on American coins, but the Royal Mint has on occasion released special collector editions, proof versions, and presentation pieces with distinct finish qualities and packaging. And the difference between a standard circulated 2003 pound coin and a 2003 per proof version struck to mirror-like perfection and sealed in original Royal Mint presentation packaging is enormous. A proof coin in pristine, original condition can command 10, 20, even 50 times the face value depending on its grade and provenance. And speaking of grade, this is perhaps the single most critical factor in determining what your coin is actually worth, because coin grading is an obsessive science unto itself, running from the humble fair grade where the design is barely visible all the way up to the transcendent FDIC or Fleur de Coin grade, meaning absolutely perfect, untouched, struck yesterday perfection, and even a tiny fingerprint, a microscopic scratch, or a hairline mark under a jeweler's loupe can catastrophically reduce the value of an otherwise stunning specimen. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC will seal your coin in a tamper-evident plastic slab and assign it an official numerical grade, and a slabed graded coin sells for dramatically more than a raw coin because collectors know exactly what they are getting. And rarity, the holy grail of coin collecting, is determined by a brutal combination of original mintage numbers. How many have survived in collectible condition, and how many collectors are currently chasing that specific coin? Which is why auction is where the most breathtaking prices are achieved, because too determined, Passionate collectors bidding against each other in real time can push a coin to prices that defy all logic. Legendary auction houses have seen single coins sell for tens of thousands, even millions of pounds. Obviously not for a standard 2003 1-pound coin, but the principle is identical. And the golden rule of the coin world is this: you absolutely cannot judge a coin's value by its face value, because the gap between what a coin says it is worth and what a collector will actually pay for it can be mind-blowing. In the 2003 UK 1-pound coin, nestled in that sweet spot of being old enough to be genuinely collectible, rare enough in certain varieties and era states to be seriously valuable, and connected enough to the beloved late Queen Elizabeth II to carry enormous sentimental and historical weight, is exactly the kind of coin you need to be checking right now. So here's what you need to do immediately. Go through every single coin in your wallet, your piggy bank, your kitchen junk drawer, your old coat pockets, your forgotten holiday change jar. Pull out every 1-pound coin you can find. Check the date, check for any unusual tilting of the reverse design. When you rotate the coin, an era coin will show the reverse at an unexpected angle rather than the standard 180-degree alignment. Check the edge inscription to make sure the lettering is crisp. Check the surfaces under a magnifying glass for any unusual doubling, missing details, or extra marks that should not be there. And if you think you have found something extraordinary, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin is the single most catastrophically stupid mistake a new collector can make, because it destroys the original surface patina and slashes the value instead. Place it safely in a coin capsule or soft coin flip, and get it assessed by a reputable dealer or submitted to a professional grading service. Because the difference between ignorance and knowledge in this hobby is literally the difference between spending a potential fortune on your morning coffee and banking a windfall that changes your week, your month, or even your life. The world of coin collecting is ancient. It is passionate, it is ferociously competitive, and it is absolutely electric, with the possibility that the next great find is sitting right there in ordinary circulation, completely unnoticed, just waiting for someone with the knowledge, the sharp eyes, and the burning curiosity to finally pick it up, turn it over, and realize what they are truly holding. So smash that like button. Subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into the world of rare coins. Drop a comment below telling me if you have ever found a valuable coin in your change, and remember, fortune favors the observant. Keep searching, keep hunting, and I will see you in the next one.